Amy, I want you to just relax, evenly weighted on both feet. I just want you to lean back slightly. Okay, I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Okay, conventional ski, virtually no pressure on the tip. Full pressure. And you can see the suspension system is pressuring the tip all the time. Okay, so Amy, this is a really interesting exercise we're going to do. First, I'm going to ask you, when you step into the ski, what do you think your pressure distribution is? Tip, middle, and tail?
Probably about even, maybe more in the middle, but pretty spread out.
Okay, most people would say that because you got the wide tip and tail, and the tip, of course, is the most important thing in initiating a turn. That's what most people think. So what we have here is 3 digital scales. They're all identical, and they're all at the same height. And what we're going to do is put this ski down on the 3 digital scales. So the boot center is right on the middle scale, front scale is right under the tip, and this scale is right under the tail. I'm going to 0 the scales, turn them on. Okay, 0, 0, 0. Okay, come on in and I'll balance you and we'll see what happens. Okay, get centered, be nice and centered.
Yep.
Okay, and let's take a look at what we got. We got 2.5 pounds, a little over 100, and we got about 16 pounds in the back. Now, it gets more interesting. I want you to just lean back the slightest bit, just the slightest bit. Tell me what you see.
0. That's amazing.
Okay, exactly. That's the problem. Now, it gets even better. What I want you to do now is just rock slightly, just slightly back and forth. And rock back. And there you see it's going from about 15 pounds to 0.
Incredible.
So the tip is going and coming and disappearing on you.
Yep.
No matter, and with just that little bit, imagine if you get really, really imbalanced, it's gone. But you don't even have to get really imbalanced. The slightest bit, and it just goes to 0.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Not what I thought.
Yep. Not what most people thought. Most people, you ask them that, they'll never believe it. Okay, now, watch this. We're going to do that now. I want you to lean forward and lean back and watch the numbers. Okay, slowly lean back. Okay, slowly lean forward, just a little bit, not that much. Okay, lean back, and you see what's going on.
It's incredible.
All right, so it's going from about 6 pounds to 0, 6 pounds to 0. The back is doing similar, and depending on where you're going, the tip and tail are disappearing on you.
It makes it very difficult, much harder to ski than I thought it would.
Exactly. All right, now what's going to be interesting, I'm going to have you get out of this, and we're going to put you on a suspension ski.
You want to undo?
Yeah, I'll do it, and then we're going to put you on a suspension ski. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to do the same experiment again with our active suspension ski. And this has got a high compliance suspension, so it's actually a spring-loaded tip and tail that's maintaining constant pressure. Now the question is, when I asked you before, what did you think the distribution is? The question is, what should the distribution be? So when we look at an expert skier, Bodie Miller, in a really carved turn, what he's done is that by being at a very high edge angle, he's bent the tip and tail up. He's worked the ski, bent the ski into an arc. And like an archer's bow, once the ski is worked into an arc, then the tip and tail become loaded. So if we measure what that loading is, it turns out to be roughly around 15 pounds, give or take, depending upon the ski. So now we're going to put this on the scales, and we're going to see what the suspension actually does. So one under the tip, one under the tail, one under the middle, as before. I'm going to turn on the scales and let them calibrate in 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and if you'll pop in. Okay, that's good. All right, get centered, get on one foot and get centered. Okay, nice and centered. Okay, and what do we see?
15. I'm Bodie Miller.
Okay, You got about 15 there. We got about 88 in the middle, and we got about 25 on the back.
How cool that is.
Yeah. Now, it gets better. Now, remember when you were leaning back and forth before? I want you to do the same thing now. Lean back. Still got about 12 pounds. Lean forward. About 18, 19 pounds. So, same thing in the back. So basically, as you lean back and lean forward, as a matter of fact, if you're going over undulating terrain, the ski is actually staying glued to the snow with even pressure. So it's the expert's built into the ski. So before you start your turn, your tip is instantly there and instantly engages. It's always there for you. That's basically what it's all about. And you don't have to work the ski. It's everybody reports it's easier on your knees. You're not working it. You're just really staying balanced and telling the ski what you want it to do, and the ski takes you for a ride.
Interesting. It's great. You can it gives you a whole bunch of freedom to move back and forth.
You have, you know what we say when we talk about the sweet spot?
Yeah.
We say no spot, all sweet. Okay. So Ken, we saw how the high compliance active suspension keeps the tip and tail in contact with the snow all the time. But there's a secondary suspension built into the chassis, and it's a flex adjuster. It adjusts the progressive flex of the ski. And we can change the personality of the ski from a soft, supple cruiser that'll just snake through the bumps, and we can crank it up and stiffen it to be a GS race ski. I'm going to show you that right now. I have it in the soft position now. I want you to put your hand up here, and put your other hand on that, and I want you to flex it, and you'll see there's a third elastomer here. I want you to flex it until it just engages the third elastomer. There you go. Okay, good. Nice. See what that feels like? Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice and easy. Now, you see there's a little dial here. I'm going to turn that dial. There's 10 clicks. Okay, and I'm going to dial it up now to the stiff position. You have 10 positions you can go in between. Okay, again, put your hand up on top, same place. Put your hand on the toe binding, and again, flex it till it touches. Go ahead.
Whoa, thing's got some pushback.
You're not even close. Come on, put the muscle.
Wow.
Amazing. So it changes to a GS race ski. And the beauty of it is you've got two adjusters, one for the tip, one for the tail, and you can actually do them independently, so you can have a softer tip, stiff tail, whatever you want. Total personality change. So in the middle of the day, you feel like you're doing some bumps, you can soften it up. You're doing some icy black diamonds, crank it down, and you're on your way.
I like it.
Now, the next thing, which is really important in the ski, is torsional rigidity. And what that means is that when you make a boot movement, on a shape ski, it's the wide tip and tail that's engaging the snow. Mm-hmm. So when you make those little subtle boot movements, you want that tip and tail to instantly do what you want it to do. In a conventional ski, you're basically twisting the ski. So you move the boot, and that motion has to go through the ski and twist the tip. Mm-hmm. So before, if you had a very flexible ski, you were in trouble because it's hard to make a flexible ski that's torsionally rigid. Mm-hmm. So what we've done here is amazing. The runner is extremely supple, as you saw. The torsional rigidity is the same spring. This is a continuous filament composite. The spring which keeps the pressure is also pinned here. It can't twist. So imagine now that you have a handle right here on the tip, and this handle is connected to your boot. So instead of twisting the ski to get the tip to engage, your boot is reaching out and literally grabbing the tip. So you bring your boot over like this, it's instantaneous. And it's amazing, the response to it. So here, grab it here. You can feel the torsional rigidity. Grab it here, try to twist.
Whoa. Definitely.
So you basically have one of the most flexible skis in the world and one of the most torsionally rigid. The response is instantaneous. So now I'm going to show you, we talked about the constant contact and the constant pressure. What's really happening is this is a preload suspension. So as soon as you step into it, the system preloads. So I'm going to put it on the ground now. Okay. And I'm going to step on it, and I want you to watch the springs. Can you see the springs preload? So the springs are preloading. So it's just like when you watch your car come off the lift when the new wheels go on, and you see when it hits the ground, the wheels go up and are preloading the spring. Okay, so I want you to step into it and see what it feels like.
Wow. I can definitely feel it preloading.
Okay, now watch this. Put your weight, full weight on it. Okay, and now the ski is flat. And look at the tip. So before you start your turn, the ski is flat, and your tip and tail are fully preloaded. The other thing about the suspension is that if you're a intermediate skier or a novice skier, it's incredibly forgiving. And let me show you that. I'm going to put it down here. And now I'm purposely going to push down on the heel and lift up on the toe. And normally the tip would come in the air. And you can see this, you can see it moving.
Wow.
And yet the tip and tail stay on the ground. So you can see from that for a novice or an intermediate, the suspension system's phenomenal because it gives you so much stability and confidence. It's very forgiving. And if you're an older person, bad knees, it's phenomenal because you don't have to work the ski. The ski is doing the work for you. And if you're an expert and a racer, it's phenomenal because there's no chatter, there's no vibration. There's something for everybody with this thing. Cool.